Two women who filmed as they tortured a vulnerable man to death have been jailed for life for their sickening crimes. Zoe Rider, 36, and Nicola Lethbridge, 45, attacked their neighbour, Stephen Koszyczarski, in his flat in Sheffield. They accused him of being a paedophile, taunted and mutilated him before inflicting a fatal head injury. A court heard how the 60-year-old, who lived alone and had a mild learning disability as well as numerous medical issues, suffered 22 separate injuries to his face, head and body. He died 2 days after the attack in August 2023. Rider and Lethbridge, both of Fraser Drive, Woodseats, Sheffield, were found guilty of murder and robbery earlier this year. They were today jailed for a minimum of 26 years at Sheffield Crown Court. Both were also each jailed for 13 years for the robbery of Mr Koszyczarski, to run concurrently with their life terms. Sentencing, Judge Sarah Wright said, quote, "While you may not have intended to kill Stephen, you certainly intended to cause him serious harm, distressing and terrifying him. You helped yourself to his property, including jewellery recovered. I have no doubt you intended to sell this jewellery for drugs. This is clearly a murder for gain."
I'm Detective Chief Inspector Thomas Woodward, the Senior Investigating Officer on the case. Today, Nicola Lethbridge and Zoe Rider have been sentenced for murder and robbery that they committed against Stephen Koszyczarski on the 9th of August 2023 in his own flat on Fraser Drive, Sheffield. And they will now spend a considerable amount of lives in prison as a consequence. Stephen was described as a quiet man. Although he had a close circle of friends, he kept himself to himself and just went about his business. His death was truly callous. Miss Lethbridge and Miss Rider, who were the neighbours of Stephen, at the time they bullied him, intimidated him, attacked him in his own home in the most humiliating way, whilst filming the attack. During the attack, they were wrongly accusing Stephen of being a paedophile, which was simply not the case. They also stole items of property from him and left him in his flat alone and seriously injured. Stephen managed to raise help and an ambulance was called. The violent actions of these two individuals caused Stephen to later die of serious head injuries whilst in hospital. The community has been a huge support throughout our investigation, and I would like to thank those who showed bravery, taking a stand against criminals and providing evidence in the case. The support of the public, along with the hard-working officers on my team, police colleagues and the prosecution team, have ensured justice for Stephen. Although the guilty verdicts bring comfort that justice has been served, this remains a sad day because it is another reminder for everyone how violence can end a life so soon, which impacts greatly on all those involved and leaves family and friends with pain and holes in their lives. I would like to conclude with a brief statement from a close friend of Stephen's. "I'm really struggling to come to terms with Steve's murder and the horrid, evil things they've done to him. I still hear Steve's voice. I find myself answering to him occasionally, then I remember he's not there. It is heartbreaking that we won't see him again. I cry most days and most nights. He was such a special man. He would have helped anybody. He had a heart of gold. I will forever miss his visits to my house. Just why these people are so bad and why they did the things they did to him, why they have murdered him, when he should still be alive and enjoying a life, is always a question I won't get the answer to. Since he was taken from me, I have worn a locket with his photograph inside. He is smiling on that photo, and that is how I will remember him."